Buddhist teachings on human greed. The evil of greed. Greed is considered one of the most dangerous evils that humans have to face. It not only harms the greedy person himself, but also affects those around him. When greed arises, people become blind, no longer distinguishing right from wrong, but only focusing on accumulating wealth and fame. Gold, silver, and property become poisonous snakes, biting their owners to death. Things that people consider precious can become burdens, crushing the human soul and spirit. Greed leads to loneliness, guilt, and eventually regret. 2. The retribution of greed. The retribution of greed is as harsh as it is. Greed is like a bottomless bag, never full. People keep chasing after pleasures and superficial things, forgetting the true values of life. When they don't know when to stop, they will become moths, rushing into the light, hurting themselves. Just like that, greed makes them distance themselves from their family, friends, and finally themselves. They no longer feel true joy and happiness, but only know emptiness and suffering. This process, once started, is difficult to stop, and the price to pay is very high. 3. Forms of desire. In modern society, there are many different forms of desire. An obvious form is people who work hard but always live in fear of losing their property. They spend their whole lives saving and building their careers, but the fear of losing or being cheated always haunts them. This leads to them not being able to enjoy what they have achieved, and their lives become stressful. In addition, corruption is also a serious form of greed. Corrupt people are willing to eat away at other people's assets in the hope of having a more prosperous life. They do not hesitate to use their power for personal gain, regardless of the consequences and impact on others. Besides, gambling is also a typical form of greed, where people bet on numbers and games that they believe will bring them wealth. They dream of new bicycles, motorbikes, or cars, but forget the true values of life. 4. Conflicts from greed. Greed not only causes negative effects on the individual, but also leads to conflicts in relationships. Property often becomes the source of disputes in the family, between friends and colleagues. Arguments and conflicts arise from the division of property or competition for interests, making relationships tense and difficult. Moreover, greed is also the main cause of wars and major conflicts in society. When a country or a group of people constantly crave to expand their power and seize resources, this will lead to instability and prolonged conflicts. In that context, greed not only takes away the happiness of individuals, but also makes society chaotic and insecure. True happiness cannot be achieved when greed still exists, reigning in the human mind. 5. The end of greed. All desires lead to suffering, and this is an undeniable law in life. Greed blinds people, making them become crazy people, always looking for things that are never enough. The ever-increasing desires only bring anxiety, pressure, and dissatisfaction. When people run after material things, they forget the true value of life. When they get something, they want more, and so this vicious cycle continues. Evil deeds not only appear through specific actions, but also clearly manifest through words and thoughts. A mind filled with greedy thoughts will lead to wrong actions, causing harm to oneself and others. Relationships are broken. Feelings fade because of greed. The end result of greed is not only loneliness and despair, but also deep suffering. When the good values in life are gradually replaced by ephemeral things, people will feel empty and disoriented. In fact, those who live in greed often face spiritual deprivation. They may own many assets but lack peace of mind. Such people often live in anxiety about preserving what they have, leading to stress and fatigue. They cannot enjoy the beautiful moments of life because their minds are always dominated by endless desires. 6. Liberation from greed. Liberation from greed is the key for people to find true happiness and peace. When they give up greed, they will gradually escape the burdens and sufferings that they have created. Realizing that at enough is an important part of this journey. There is no need to be greedy, no need to chase after luxuries, just appreciate what you have. The rich also need to learn to live more simply. Find joy in the little things, like family meals, children's laughter, or relaxing moments with friends. This helps them create a more meaningful life, where human value is not only measured by material things, but also by good experiences and relationships. Freeing oneself from greed is not only about giving up material things, but also a journey of self-discovery. People need to develop their souls and connect with human values. This can start with practicing gratitude, recognizing and appreciating what you have, instead of focusing on what you lack. When people learn to live in harmony with themselves and the world around them, they will find true peace and happiness. Freeing themselves from greed also means opening their hearts, knowing how to share and help others. When bringing joy to others, people will feel happiness spreading in their own souls. Instead of focusing on what you want to have, focus on what you can give. This not only helps enrich your own life, but also creates a positive environment for the surrounding community. This change can start with small actions, but will bring great positive effects to society. 7. Karma and cause and effect. Happiness or suffering, wealth or poverty, all come from the karma that each person creates in life. Every action, every word, and even every thought can lead to unpredictable consequences. What we experience in the present is the result of the choices we have made in the past. In fact, it is not the blessings or curses of gods that are given to us, but the accumulation of karma from our actions. When we sow good seeds such as kindness, sharing, and compassion, the result will be happiness, prosperity, and good relationships. Conversely, if our actions are evil, suffering and poverty will be inevitable. This is not limited to great actions, but also to the smallest actions in daily life. A smile for a stranger, a gesture of helping someone in need, or simply sympathy and understanding for others are all good seeds that we can sow in life. Therefore, a clear understanding of karma and cause and effect will help each person understand that they have the right to control their destiny through the way they live, think, and act. This does not mean that life will not be difficult, but it will help us understand that those challenges are also part of the journey to maturity. 8. Infinite blessings. Infinite blessings are not things that can be measured in material or money, but in spiritual values. Those who want to be rich need to give up greed and stinginess, two factors that greatly hinder the achievement of peace and happiness. Greed not only leads to emptiness, but also creates broken relationships and loneliness. Don't cling to wealth because it is just something ephemeral, easy to come and easy to go. Instead, learn to let go. Live simply and know enough. When the soul is peaceful, people can clearly see the true values in life. These are simple moments with family, sincere friendship, and the small joys from enjoying every moment of life. Practicing gratitude will help us realize that happiness does not lie in material things or great achievements, but in appreciating what we already have. When we know how to live with gratitude and not get caught up in the vortex of material things, we will find immeasurable blessings which no one can take away. And that is the true lasting happiness in life. In addition, giving is also a way to receive. When we contribute and help others, we not only enrich their lives but also enrich our own souls. Sharing, compassion, and forgiveness will bring invisible blessings, creating a meaningful and happy life. Let compassion guide us on our journey to find happiness and peace in this life. Dear viewers, we have just discovered valuable lessons from the Buddha's teachings about human greed. Hopefully, these shares will help each of us better understand the true value of life, thereby knowing how to live in harmony and serenity. In today's world full of temptations, recognizing and controlling greed is extremely necessary to find happiness and peace of mind. We all know that greed not only makes us lose peace, but also negatively affects our relationships with those around us. Therefore, learning to let go and know enough will help us create more meaningful connections and live more fully in the present. If you find this content useful, please leave your comments below, sharing your opinions and feelings about the things mentioned. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other meaningful lessons in the future. Your support is not only the motivation for us to continue working, but also contributes to spreading good messages to more people. We really appreciate your support and companionship, and hope that this content will continue to bring value to everyone's life. Thank you very much for listening and joining us on the journey to find understanding and peace of mind. We wish you always find joy and peace in every moment of your life.